Good morning, students. Once again, I am here to interact with all of you through my video lecture session of physics. I hope all of you are relaxed enough after summer holiday to start the new topic. Before holiday, we had finished some of our topics like concepts of magnetic field, Oersted experiment, Biot-Savart law and its applications. In 1820, soon after the discoveries of Oersted and of Biot-Savart, Ampere found a useful relation between the electric current and magnetic field. This relation may be applied in highly symmetric situations to find magnetic field more easily than by computing it with Biot-Savart law. The law given by Ampere is known as Ampere's circuital law. But in the syllabus this time of CBSE 2020-21, it is written Ampere's law. So let's try to see Ampere's circuital law, the statement first. Now the Ampere's circuital law, we are going to see the statement first, what is written there. The line integral of magnetic field, that is also known as magnetic circulation, around any closed path or boundary of an open surface in free space or vacuum is equal to mu naught times the total current passing through the surface. If you go for its mathematical expression, the mathematical expression for this is, it is integral, so of course closed integral, closed loop, for closed loop, B dot dl is equal to mu naught times the net current crossing through the surface. Here, this integral of magnetic field is also sometimes known as magnetic circulation. This magnetic circulation is this one. Any closed path or boundary, either one or two you can use, either this or this. In exam, if you are going to write, either one or two you write. No need to write both. Of an open surface in free space is mu naught times the total current passing through. This passing through can also be somewhere you will find threading or crossing or penetrating or piercing. It is a number of words can be used for it. So this is the mathematical expression. This is line integral of magnetic field, mu naught times, you better know what is this, and this is net current. So how to show it mathematically? So whenever you are given to write the mathematical form in exam, you are going to write this. Now the figurative representation of this law. So whenever you are going to represent it, here a closed path or boundary we have to take of an open surface. So let us assume a regular open surface boundary I have taken, and this is the surface of this shape. Let's just like bowl or what you say. This is the surface. Now a current carrying wire is there. Say this is the wire which is going in one direction. Here what we see, there are three wires I have shown, and as per a direction, this direction is the orientation along the loop, that is what I have closed path or boundary of this free open surface I am showing. For this traversal of path, to determine the line integral of magnetic field, all these currents are positive. Why this is positive, that we are going to see in sign convention, why this will be positive, and if direction will be opposite, for which condition it will be negative, which condition positive. So we will see it later on, just in finding out number of important points. So here this is the figure what is shown actually in NCERT. If you go through a number of wires, as though picture is not clear completely over there, but you just think like this. These wires are going inside, is piercing this, coming out within the boundary, crossing through the boundary and coming out after piercing or threading or penetrating it. So let the net current is I. This is I net current. So in this case, as while finding B dot dl, if we traverse like this, then in that case all these are taken as here for this movement or traversal along the path, we are getting I positive. Sign convention we are going to see later on. Actually here the line integral of magnetic field along closed path, this as a whole is this one, magnetic circulation. So it is better to mention magnetic circulation from here to here. Line integral of magnetic field around closed path. All these can be represented by these two words, magnetic circulation. And that your magnetic circulation is along this edge. So let us try to see this. This is the free surface through which it is coming out, piercing, enclosed by it. So some of the important points based on this we are going to do. For this I have to erase this one, so please note down first, then we are going to discuss. There are a number of points we have to discuss related with this. So the first important point is the integral, the left hand side, integral B dot dl is taken over the closed loop coinciding with the boundary C of an open circuit. Boundary, this one, C. This is the boundary of an open surface. Open surface of this one is this thing. So in this case, for a whole loop we have to take complete loop. That is why circle is there, contour or complete loop is there. So that we have to take. So how to find out B dot dl, you know? Suppose due to this for current carrying wire I am showing by say dot. At any if you want to find out current due to this current carrying wire having current I, the magnetic field. How you are going to find out magnetic field? You are going, at any point, suppose at this point we have to find out magnetic field. This current is coming towards us, so that is current direction. Now hold it, curl the finger in this way. Thumb is showing the direction of current. This thumb shows the direction of current and we are holding like this. Then this curve shows the direction of magnetic field. So direction of magnetic field is circulating about this. And the direction is in the direction of tip of the curled fingers. So this is the direction of, as per right hand rule. So this is the direction of magnetic field. At this point the direction of magnetic field is this, D. At this point direction of magnetic field is this. At this point the direction of magnetic field is this. So this is the direction of, these are the direction of magnetic field at different points. Since I'm showing all the times B, reason is there, all the points are at equal distance, so the magnitude remains the same, though the direction is changing. Here magnitude remains same, direction is shown over there. In the same way, at all the points, suppose from this where it is there, and we are going to take any small length, say of length dl. We are going to find out line integral of this one. So line integral, this point is b in this direction, dl is also in this direction. So line integral at this point is b dot dl. Here both are having in the same direction, so this is b into dl into cos theta, so that is cos 0 we can take. In the same way, for all such segments, we are finding out b dot dl, and that is, if we are summing, if we sum all these together, then that is called the line integral of complete loop. This complete loop called, after summing up, summation of b dot dl, when this dl is very small, then in that case this can be written as integral b dot dl. And here from start to end, from one point or the same point we are coming back. Here when we are going to sum it up, we are going to get this one. So first point is over. We are going to take for a whole, in the same way for this boundary we are going to take it. Each and every segment is being determined. For each segment we are going to find out b dot dl and summing it up for the whole loop, and that is called integral b dot dl. So that is what the explanation of first point. Now we are coming to the second point. I hope you have noted down the first one. That is integral b dot dl is taken over the loop. It can be opposite, but we will see how and when and how, what would be sign, anything changing or not. Now we are coming to second point. The second point is, this law, that is Ampere's circuital law, is independent of the size and shape of the closed boundary, this closed boundary. Whether it is of the shape like triangle, or it is square, or it is rectangle, or any zigzag path whatsoever, that does not matter, as long as this particular is not changing. So in this case, what we can say, if the surface is going to be much like this, here this is the surface, then here the current remains same, that is the I, what I have taken here, I net. So if I net is there, so there is no such change. In that case, as far as current is concerned, the current remains same. So in that case, irrespective of the shape and size of the closed boundary, the relation integral b dot dl for the whole loop equal to mu naught I net remains valid. That is the important point what we have. Whatsoever may be the shape and size of the closed boundary, the relation is valid. Third important point what we are going to discuss is the sign convention for the current, what we are going to use there. Using right hand rule, we are going to see the sign convention. We curl the fingers of right hand in the sense the boundary is traced. Here boundary is traced like this. Suppose this is the current going rightward, or to you it is rightward, and we curl the finger in the sense the boundary is traced. We are tracing the boundary like this. We can trace in opposite direction, but right now we are tracing like this, so we are going to hold like this. If the, and in the sense the boundary is traced, to find integral b dot dl, to find this one, if the direction of thumb, in the sense of direction of current is taken as positive. So if here what we see, this is I net, in this case the direction of thumb is in the direction of current, so it is taken as positive. Or you can say, in the direction of thumb, the sense of direction of current is taken as positive. And that is what it mentioned. When the fingers of the right hand are curled, I am curling the finger, I am going to traverse like this for this particular wire. So in this case, this is the traversal along which we have to move to find out integral B dot dl. Here our tips of the fingers curl in the direction of traversal of path, and we are holding the wire. In that case, the direction of thumb is going to show us the positive direction of current. In this case, if you hold the wire, you will see that this is the direction of thumb. So this particular current will be positive. In some other way, suppose you are having, I am going to give you second figure. Suppose this is the second figure. Here a number of wires I am going to take. First wire is, say, this. Second wire, here the current is along this. Second wire, I am going to change the direction of current. Third wire, here, this is direction. So this is I1, this one is I2, this one is I3. There are two ways to traverse the closed path boundary. One is along this. Suppose along this we are going to see. In this case, if you are going to see the things, in that case, if you hold the wire, for this the thumb will be in this direction. If you put the curled finger in the direction of or movement or traversal of path, then in that case, this I1 will be positive. Sorry, I2 will be positive. And I3 will also be positive. But here I1 will be negative. Reason is there. Our thumb is in this direction and the current will be opposite to that. That is why I is taken as negative. So net current in all these are minus I1 plus I2 plus I3. That is the net current. In the same way, you can change the rotation or traversal of path. If you are going to traverse the path along this, in this case, the direction is being changed. Direction of traversal of path is changed, or this boundary. In that case, the reversal of the things will take place. Here, this at the place of this, all these here, when we curl the thing, wires are like this. Suppose this wire, I am taking this wire. We are going to traverse the path like this. We are curling the finger in this way. Thumb is this direction. So this direction, whatsoever the currents which are in this direction will be positive, rest of them are negative. So for this black arrow, direction of traversal, the current in this direction will be positive. So for this direction of traversal, what we have concluded is all the currents coming towards this, like this, curled fingers along the direction of traversal, thumb is in this direction. So for this I1 will be positive. This is opposite to the opposite thumb direction. So I2 will be negative and I3 will be negative. So as per the direction of traversal in the loop, and right hand rule is to be followed to find out direction of current. B dot dl, B you know due to current what we have, we will know the direction of B at each and every point of the boundary. Direction of dl, we know how we are moving. So if we are going down, direction of dl is down. If we are going up in this direction, dl up. So that direction of B, suppose in black boundary, we can black arrow, we can use that one. What we see, suppose we are going to move like this, and if direction of magnetic field is just opposite, this is the direction of dl. And if magnetic field is opposite, theta is 180. As in the same, I am taking the convention of current or sign convention of current, we are going to put the values to get it. We are going to do one numerical based on this to find out the exact result. We have two similar figures. Here in this, both I1 and I2 rightward and I3 leftward. Here also I1, I2 rightward, I3 leftward. In first figure, we are going to traverse the closed path in this direction. But in second figure, just opposite to that, we would like to see the net current or a sum of currents, what we are going to get. In this case, if we are curling the fingers in the direction of traversal of path, what we see, the current towards right will be positive. So in this case, I1 is positive I2 is positive and I3 negative, goes left. Now come to this. Here the direction of traversal is just opposite to the first one, like this. Due to opposite orientation of with respect to first, what we see, all the currents towards left will be positive and towards right it will be negative. So in this case, thumb is towards left, that is why as per the direction of traversal, fingertips or curled fingers in the direction of traversal of the path or the boundary, and thumb is towards left. So all the current towards left will be positive. So this is positive, this is negative, and this one is negative. So here the net current, in this case, I1 plus I2 minus I3. So this is I net. And in this case, what we have? Net current is minus I1 minus I2 plus I3. So what we see, the net current is opposite in sign convention due to the direction of traversal being opposite. The direction of traversal is actually the direction of DL. So these are the directions of DL, what we are having at each and every point. The direction of DL is shown by this. So here also it is direction of DL. So whenever we are going to take the direction of DL, it is this as per direction of orientation or traversal of path. Direction of B, you know how to find out at each and every point. In both the cases, it is up to you. So this was the direction of DL. Net current, here you know. Now the direction of B. You know, due to any current carrying wire, the direction of traversal gives the direction of DL, and direction of magnetic field due to any current carrying conductor or current carrying wire, you know how to find out. So that remains same. Here only we are going to see the direction of traversal or the DL. And utilize there, direction of B you know how to find out due to any current carrying wire. Direction of DL we know how to right now how to find out due to current carrying wire. And I get positive or negative, how to find out as per direction of traversal or DL, you can say that you know how to find out. So after finally we are going to use it in one of the question. As I have said, this was just for your explanation. Next important point. This law does not include the currents which is outside or which are outside the closed path or boundary. In other words, you can say the line integral of field around closed path due to external current gives no contribution. So we are not going to consider the external current over there. We have a figure like this. Here a number of currents I am going to show, current wires. Suppose wire number 1 I am showing here, it is going. Wire number 2, it is, say it is opposite, you can change it. Wire number 3, suppose here. So this is I2, this is I1. Wire number 4, it is somewhat like this. So here net current is function of only I1 and I2. As per sign convention, we are going to take the sign. That is why I am not putting it in summation form. As per the direction of orientation, we are going to take the sign. So net current can be decided. So here only these two are piercing or crossing the boundary. So that is going to be taken into consideration. Or external current giving no contribution at all outside the closed boundary. So that is what the fourth point is. So Ampere's law, here one E is missing. Ampere's law and Gauss's law relate a physical quantity on the periphery of the boundary, periphery or boundary you can say, to another physical quantity, that is source in the interior. So in Gauss's law, if you see what we have, suppose for any sphere we are going to see, if charge Q is enclosed, we are going to find out the electric field at the periphery. in the closed boundary or closed surface here we were using. In Ampere's law, what we had done? We are going to find out the magnetic field at the periphery of this particular closed loop or boundary due to source called current. Here we are going to find out the magnetic field, and in this case what we are finding out? Electric field. So this Ampere law for magnetic field can be viewed in analogy to the Gauss's law for electric field. So Gauss's law is used to determine E, Ampere's law used to determine B due to enclosed Q in Gauss's law, and that is I, that is piercing the surface enclosed within the zone, and thus we can say these two can be viewed in analogy somehow. Next point number 6, the analogy between Gauss's law in electricity, you can say, and Ampere's law in magnetism is not complete. Reason is quite clear, you know it better. This Gauss's law uses surface integral, that is E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. What this Ampere's law is giving? Ampere's law is giving the line integral. This is giving, but it is B dot dl. It is the line integral is equal to, what is that? The relation you know how to find out, mu naught times I net. So this is mu naught I net, and that is the within the boundary piercing the surface of the closed boundary. So here this surface integral is there, and here line integral is there. Some other words may be used for this. So this one must know the explanation. Next point is point number 7. The Biot-Savart law and Ampere's law are equivalent in the same sense. The Coulomb's and Gauss's law are equivalent. We know the laws. What is Biot-Savart law? That we know the magnetic field dV is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl cross r upon r square. And if we are going to for Ampere's law, you know, or Ampere's circuital law, it is better to say ACL. I am writing in full, you will write. That is integral B dot dl is mu naught times I net. And if you are going for the Coulomb's law is generally what we are knowing for force, but if you go for electric field for this, the electric field is given by the force per unit charge, and it is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into r unit vector. And in the same way, if you write the Gauss's law, that Gauss's law you have read that it is E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. By use here magnetic field is there, so line integral of magnetic field is mu naught times net current, here current element. Coulomb's law, electric field due to charge, here E dot ds is 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. So in this way the comparison can be seen. By using a single charge you can find out. Here in case of sphere, here in case of single current, you can straight wire, you can find out the relation. Ampere's circuital law, I am writing in short. Ampere's circuital law is a easy process which is useful mainly for symmetrical situations. So ACL is useful for symmetrical situations or symmetrical conditions. Symmetrical and in the same way it is valid for the steady current or the current is not fluctuating. Valid for steady current. when current is not fluctuating or changing with time. Next point, ninth point. We know that general relation of Ampere's circular law is integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught times I net. This can be like this: integral B into dl into cos of the angle between B and dl is equal to mu naught I net. This is true for each and every conditions. Here either the path is zigzag or whatsoever. Here path is somewhat like this. Here you can see the magnetic field at any point a wire is suppose coming out. Perpendicular distance, if you see the, or at any point, not only here, even at this place as well. What you see, the dl direction is suppose in this condition. The perpendicular direction is this. This is the direction of magnetic field. So along this is direction of magnetic field, and dl is in this direction. So the angle between two is this. So it is true for any angle between B and dl. Sometimes the much simplified versions are also used, and the simplified versions are somewhat like this. Suppose in any case it is integral B into dl into cos 0 degree or cos 90 degree. That can be utilized is equal to mu naught I. Sometimes you will find here only simply we are writing B into L equal to mu naught into I. How we are getting? For these conditions, what we are generally using, for those which choose a loop around that particular current carrying conductor. So that loop is known as Amperian loop. Amperian loop. So it proves to be sufficient at each and every point of the loop, that this particular loop, that either the field is tangential and non-zero constant. Second, B is normal to the loop. And third, B vanishes or zero. These are the simplified version of this. B tangential or non-zero we are going to study in a current carrying wire. Suppose a current carrying wire is there. We are going to choose an Amperian loop, just like Gaussian surface we had studied in electricity or electrostatics we can say. So here what we see, due to this particular wire, here the field is tangential to the loop. This Amperian loop is actually the imaginary geometrical entity. This is not the real loop. We are designing just imagining that this particular loop is there. In the same way what we had done for Gaussian surface. That was imaginary surface. So here this is the symmetrical situations. In symmetrical situations we can find. So in tangential and non-zero we are going to get in this case. Be normal to the loop. Here in that case, suppose in solenoid we are going to see that field is normal to one of the section of the loop. B vanishes at some of the points, like in toroid. We are going to learn once again the applications of Ampere's circular law in toroid and even solenoid also. B is somewhere either minimum or very less value, so that reduces zero, or we are actually going to see it actually zero. How it would be, we are going to see it in applications. So at some of the simple situations, we are going to use the Amperian loop, which is a geometrical imaginary entity, not a real one, just to find out the magnetic field due to any current carrying wire at a given point. So this was the ninth thing. So this general condition, this formula is used for, it is true for each and every conditions, even here. But a simplified version is, in some other conditions, suppose B is tangential or non-zero constant, B is normal to the loop, that loop is an imaginary loop, what we are considering to find out the magnetic field. And in some of the case, magnetic field is zero. So these are simple cases instead of complicated one. That can also be seen, the complicated one. But right now we have to use, in our cases, the three simple applications. And the magnetic field due to infinitely long wire, what we have done in case using Biot-Savart law. Second, B due to solenoid, the straight solenoid you can say, and third be due to toroid. There we are going to use these three applications. Now the last point of discussion is magnetomotive force. It is defined as line integral of magnetizing field or magnetizing field intensity. Sometimes it is also known as magnetizing force, denoted by H. Around any closed path is equal to the net current crossing through the area bounded by the closed path. It simply means, suppose this is a closed path, any particular current is in the same way what we had done for the line integral of magnetic field. Here also what we had, this is H dot dl, line integral of magnetizing field intensity or magnetizing field or magnetizing force, all are same, is equal to net current, sum of the current, that is net current. That is what magnetomotive force is. So how we can see this one? We know integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught times net current. This is as per Ampere's circuital law. We will know later on B equal to mu into H or B naught equal to mu naught into H naught. If it is vacuum, in vacuum case it is simply mu naught. So here if we write for this B equal to mu naught H, then we can write like this, is equal to mu naught I, and finally from here what we shall have is this one. A number of definitions can be given for H, we are going to study later on, but actually it is magnetizing force. It can be defined as the degree to which a given magnetic material can magnetize or can be magnetized, you can say, with the help of this applied field. We discussed too many things based on Ampere's circuital law, a number of small different points. Actually, a number of questions are coming in board's exam of different values. Small questions are large in numbers. So a number of questions can be asked based on this. So it's quite obvious that you may be getting small questions based on this. So it's quite obvious you have to go through thoroughly. Go through a step by step, try to solve and analyze all the points. Then only you will be able to solve the questions given in board's exam. So I hope you are going to learn it properly, the Ampere's circuital law, and write it down, practice it enough. I am going to solve one numerical but in this class, but before that I hope you have gone through. If not, then go through the theory first, and in next class we are going to discuss applications based on this. So what are the applications left? You just go through the syllabus. In next class I will start with the topic that is called applications of Ampere's circuital law. So let's try to see one of the numerical. Now the question based on the Ampere's circuital law. We know what is it. So first of all, in here 1 hour wire is coming out with current 4 ampere, 1 hour wire is going inside, current 3 ampere. We have to find out the magnitude as well as the sign of line integral of magnetic field. We have to see the sense of traversal or the movement to find out the line integral. Suppose we are going in this direction, anti-clock. If we are going anti-clock, then curl of the fingers are like this. So in this case, if curl of the fingers are like this, thumb is away from the board or towards us. So in this case, this particular direction of current is in the direction of thumb. So this current will be taken as positive. And this is opposite to this one, so this is negative. Thus what we see, the net current in this case is I1 is positive and I2 is negative, so this is I1 minus I2. So this is 4 minus 3 is equal that is 1 ampere. This is the, in this case, if we are going anti-clockwise, then it is the case. In case of clockwise, the things will be opposite. So magnitude is quite easy to find out. So magnitude of line integral is B dot dl, and that is equal to mu naught times I net. I net we know that is equal to 1 ampere in this case if we are going to traverse in anti-clockwise direction. So mu naught into 1, that is mu naught is the value. If current is 1 ampere, and you have to find out this one. So here this is mu naught if it is, the traversal is anti-clockwise. And if the traversal is clockwise, then this, in this case, I net would be clockwise. If traversal is clockwise, then the things will be opposite. So in that case, I1 will be negative and I2 will be positive. So this will be minus I1 plus I2. Minus I1 is minus 4 and this is plus 3, that is minus 1 ampere. So in that case, the integral B dot dl is equal to mu naught times I net is minus, so this is minus mu naught. So that is what the line integral of magnetic field value is. And thus we can say, depending on this, we are going to get the values. You just think over the concept. We are going to see the numerical based on this, and you have to solve it. So solve some of the questions. One question you will find in assignment as well. And in the very next class, we are going to see the applications of Ampere's circuital law.